Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be looking at how do you multiply polynomials, including using the FOIL method. Just a reminder, this is the short version, so we're going to go pretty quickly. If you'd like the full length lesson where we go step by step with a bunch of examples, I will link that in the description below. Just a reminder that before attempting this lesson, you should already know the multiplication rule, along with the distributive property and combining like terms. If you'd like a refresher on any of those topics, I will link those in the description below. All right, so here's our first problem. And we need to remember first off that there's an invisible 1 here, and all we're doing is we're distributing, right? So we do -1 times 2, which is -2, and remember you add the exponents, so this is p to the 4th, and then we do the same thing here. -1 times +9 is -9, p squared, and this is our final answer. For the second type of problem, okay, let me first say the most common mistake that I see people make with this problem is they take this 2, if you know the power rule, or they think, okay, I just take the 2 and I give it to everything inside. And that sounds good, but it is incorrect. Okay, and the reason it's incorrect is because this actually means 2p minus 4 times 2p minus 4, right? That's what something to the second power means. It means multiplied by itself 2 times. And so now, there are a couple of ways of looking at this. A lot of students will learn the FOIL method. All right, F stands for first, so you look at the first terms in each parenthesis. So 2p times 2p, remember there's invisible 1s here. So 2p times 2p to the first times 2p to the first is 4p to the second power. And then O stands for the outside terms. So the outside terms would be 2p to the first and -4. It's the outer terms on the parentheses, so that would be -8p. Then the I stands for the inner terms, or the inside terms, so that would be -4 and 2p. And so that would be -8p as well. And L stands for the last terms in each parentheses, okay, which is -4 times -4, which is +16. A couple of other things to talk about here. If you were to draw lines for each of those, it would look something like this. I've had students call that the hurricane, right? If you can see a hurricane there. Really, all that we're doing though, people call it the FOIL, but all we're really doing is we're distributing, okay? So we're taking this 2p to the first and we're distributing it to everything in the second parentheses. Then we're taking the -4 and we're distributing it to everything in the second parentheses. So your order might change a little bit, but you will still end up with the same answer. And in fact, if you distribute, it's the same as FOIL. Now, last step, we can combine like terms here, right? -8p, -8p. So 4p squared minus 16p plus 16, and this is the final answer. For this last type of problem, we need to distribute, and we're going to distribute one at a time. So we do 2z times -3z squared, which is -6z cubed. Then we do 2z times -1z, which is -2z squared. Then we do 2z times -3, which is -6z. And now we repeat the process with the -1. So now we do -1 times each one in parentheses. So that will give us plus 3z squared plus z plus 3. And now we can combine like terms. So we should always start with the highest exponent. So -6z cubed has nothing to combine with. -2z squared combines with 3z squared to give us 1, or just z squared. -6z plus z is -5z. And the 3 has nothing to combine with, so this is our final answer. All right, here's our cool clock for today, which means that it is time for you to practice what you just learned. Go ahead and pause the video and try these 2 problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause the video and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had time to work these problems, let's check your solutions. Okay, for the first problem, here is the work. You should have ended up with 12b cubed minus 5b squared plus 6b plus 2. And for the second problem, you should have gotten p squared minus 16. Notice that when you combine the positive 4p and the -4p, it's just 0p, so we don't even put it in our answer. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.